Good morning, friends. Happy Monday. Hello, if you're new here, my name is Kaelyn. I'm a first-year PhD student in History and African American Studies at Yale University. I make academic lifestyle content all about my life as a graduate student, as well as informational videos about how you too can pursue your academic goals. Today, I am taking you guys along for a slightly different week in my life format. I'm actually going to try time blocking my entire week. I've already gone ahead and laid out my schedule on my digital calendar, on my computer, on iCal, and I also have my plan in my physical planner. So I'm all set to go. I am actually ahead of schedule this morning. I was meant to wake up at 8, go for a walk, be done by 9, and then I had about an hour to do my hair and makeup, but I got it done in 30 minutes. So I have a little extra time, which means I can immediately move on to my next task, which is to prep for class. So today is actually the first day of spring semester. I have my Readings in Early America seminar, and I'm really excited for it. This semester I get to take classes that I'm really interested in and that are directly applicable to my line of research and the types of readings that I'm going to need to prep for my comprehensive exams. The class is at 1:30, so I have a couple hours between now and then in order to make sure to prep the readings. Originally on my time block schedule, I had from 10 to 12 to be doing my readings. So I have a little extra time to work on those now. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. For the first week of readings for my Early America course, we focused primarily on the theme of Indigenous nations and European encounter. The readings included Daniel Richter's Facing East from Indian Country, Frederick Turner's The Significance of the Frontier in American History, and Francis Parkman's The Jesuits in North America in the 17th Century. The Parkman and Richter piece were perhaps the most similar, drawing from similar archaeological sources to paint a picture of what early encounters would have looked like and how both Indigenous people and colonial settlers reacted to each other's presence. The set of reading allowed me to return to the origins of my studies in history, my early fascination with colonial America, and I found myself full of questions that I looked forward to addressing in seminar. It's been about 40 minutes since I checked in last, and I just wanted to tell you all a little bit about the readings for this week. This week we're focusing primarily on Indigenous histories and early contact, but looking at it from various perspectives. So this one article on Jesuit relations, which looks specifically at different Indigenous communities and specific dialects, the Algonquin language family, and then comparing that with Turner's Frontier thesis, which I talked a little bit about in my other vlog. Frederick Turner gave this speech at the Chicago World's Fair, basically saying that the frontier of America had come to a close. Essentially, settlers had successfully peopled the American continent, but it's interesting the way that I perceived that particular article when I was at Oxford versus the way I perceive it now. Now I see the argument less so about closing of the American frontier and focusing on the evolution of American civilization and capitalism, and actually a lot more about American imperialism. What it seems that he's arguing at the end is that they have essentially closed the North American frontier, as in the actual physical landscape, that the American character had always developed with the idea that expansion was limitless. And that's where you go back to Jeffersonian ways of thinking, in which the expanse of American people across the American continent would allow for this democratization of the American system, because everyone would be able to essentially care for themselves because they would have enough land, and that you wouldn't have the quote unquote like ills of the city. But Turner is saying that the American character was so dependent on this continual expansion that America would only continue to expand beyond the physical American landscape, which is just interesting. There's a lot to be taken from that article and have problems with, but it's just interesting rereading it and returning to it after a year. And then the other piece that we're reading is a book by Daniel Richter called Facing East from Indian Country, A Native History of North America. And his central thesis is what can be done if we actually look instead from the Atlantic inward and facing west, and actually think about indigenous histories kind of facing east and thinking of how those encounters with European settlers would have been experienced. And he uses various sources that are very much dependent on archaeological materials. It's an interesting blend of history and anthropology, which I was talking to Katie about last night, and I just find it really fascinating. So that's my little spiel. I hope you all enjoyed my rant. And now I'm gonna go ahead and continue reading and keep prepping for class. It is now noon, so that means that it is time for lunch and a power nap before class at 1:30. I got all the reading done that I needed to for class, and I feel very prepared for seminar, which is awesome. And now I'm gonna go ahead and just heat up some food, and I'm also doing some payroll stuff for my business, so I need to handle that. I just hired my second employee, and telling you guys the taxes and out-of-state taxes and all of the withholdings and all of that is so complicated. But I'm starving, so I'm gonna go eat something really quick, figure out the payroll stuff, and then take a quick power nap in order to make sure that I'm back at my computer at 1:15 in preparation for class at 1:30. So that's what's gonna happen, and let's get to it. And on the menu for today is chicken tacos. I made these last night and went ahead and heated these up and put some avocado and sour cream on. So here we go.
And last, but certainly not least, is Kaelyn.
Hi, I'm Kaelyn. I'm a first year PhD student in history and African American studies. Then the second is a socio-legal history of Partus Equitor Ventrum from its origins, and then kind of going on into the late 18th, early 19th century. Different perspectives of the American Revolution, and I became very drawn to looking specifically at the enslaved experience as well as loyalism.
Okay, very good.
All right, so I had my first class of the semester and it went really well. And then afterward, I took an hour break, and now it is time for the weekly accepted team meeting. And Chloe is joining for the first meeting, which is very exciting. And we're gonna go ahead and do our little check-in, and that'll be about an hour. Say hello, team.
Hello.
Okay, so after the meeting, I completely forgot to keep vlogging. Honestly, it slipped my mind that I was vlogging today, but I had dinner, I showered, and now I'm back with Chloe. I don't know if you could see her, but I am here with Chloe and I'm about to get some reading done for the evening. That is the only task I have left on my time blocking for today. Tomorrow is a busy day of meetings and the accountability workshop and everything, so I will take you guys along, but I'm just gonna be reading for both my classes on Thursday. Technically, there's no readings due this week, but I'm just gonna try to get ahead. And then I will talk to you in the morning.
It's time to get up. Someone is not sticking to the schedule this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Today is now Tuesday. I slept in a little bit this morning. I'm still on schedule. I said I would get up, take Moo for a walk, and make breakfast before 9, but little Miss over here is not cooperating. Little Miss Moo is not wanting to work today. The snow outside is so deep that I took her on a walk last night and I thought she was gonna like get lost in the snow because she's so tiny. And there was like flurries all over her face when we came back inside. I felt so bad. So I don't blame her for not wanting to go outside again. Look at this sass. She's like, no, I'm not feeling it today, Mom. It's not happening. But I'm going to try to get her up and then we're gonna go for a walk and then we're gonna make breakfast and then get this day started. I went ahead, made my breakfast, took Moo for her walk, and now it's 9 o'clock, so we are right on schedule, and now it's time to move on to the next time block, which is admin and responding to emails. I try to set aside an hour every other day to get to all of my emails because there is a lot, and as my YouTube channel and as my business have been growing, I get a lot more emails in my inbox. So I am gonna go ahead and tackle that this morning. I have about an hour to do that, and then I'm gonna put on some makeup and film 2 videos this morning. And then I have a meeting with my mentee for the Global Community College Transfer Network and then the accountability workshop. So busy day, totally doable. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat my breakfast while I go ahead and respond to some emails. All right, so quick little update. I went ahead and got through all of my emails and sent a couple that I think are important. I got an offer from a pretty big company to work with them, so I emailed them and we'll see what they come back with their offer. So there's a lot that I'm working on in terms of sponsorships and whatnot. As I said, my inbox has been a lot more full recently, and I'm trying to put together some sponsorships, collaborations, partnerships, that kind of stuff, because right now the revenue that is made from Accepted far exceeds what I make off of YouTube, and I want to balance it out a little bit, mostly because I want to be able to reinvest the money that Accepted makes back into Accepted, so that way I can hire new staff members and I can continue growing the business. Whereas with my YouTube channel, I would like to use that income in order to pay off my student loan debt and whatnot. While Accepted does help me do that, I would also like to be able to reinvest it into the business. So I am working on all of those things, and I have some pretty big goals for my YouTube channel that I'm trying to work towards. Now I'm gonna go ahead and film the videos for this week. I have 2 that I need to film. I went ahead and made the outline so that way I know the things that I want to cover. And I was supposed to have a meeting with my mentee for the Global Community College Transfer Network, but she actually canceled our session. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that time to actually edit content. I have some Instagram reels and TikTok content that I wanna make for Accepted. So after I'm done filming, I'm gonna go ahead and work on editing some of those. And that is what is going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and film, and then I will check in with you all in a little while. guys, I'm like freaking out. So I got an email that I thought was like spam like a month ago, saying that I'd been nominated for this award. I talked to one of the representatives and she's like, no, like it's a conference for education and you've been nominated, and do you want us to send your paperwork through to see if you have been awarded this particular award? And so I went through the process and I just didn't think it was gonna work because my channel's not that big, and I was awarded the Excellence in Education Award, which is to be conferred at this like global education conference. And I'm in shock, but I had the accountability workshop, so I have to go. But what? Good morning, guys, and happy Wednesday. I am a bit of a bad vlogger. I had the accountability workshop yesterday and then just like completely forgot to pick back up the camera. I ended up just having leftovers for dinner and then talking with Liam, and then afterward I hung out with Danielle, Katie, and Chloe as we got some work done. I edited my video so that way it's ready to go live. And this morning I went ahead and took Moo out. We are right on schedule. I just made my breakfast and I'm about to go sit down at my desk and start the day. So the first hour I spent just getting up, getting ready, making breakfast. The second hour I will be working primarily on admin, so lots of responding to emails and making sure that the YouTube video is ready to go up. Then after that I have some reading that I need to prep for the Race and Slavery Working Group, which is this evening. So I have just a lot of reading and stuff today. There's one other accountability workshop. Happens every Wednesday if you ever want to join. And now I'm gonna go ahead and just grab my breakfast and get today started. You guys, I'm so tired. I don't know if it's the weather or what, but I am tuckered. I got a bunch of work done this morning. I took my nap, I had lunch, and then I studied with Danielle for a little while, did the accountability workshop. I have about an hour and a half until the Race and Slavery Working Group. My advisor is actually giving a presentation on his recent research, so I'm actually really excited because I read the proposal. And it seems like a really cool project. And so I'm literally just gonna lay here for the next little bit because I just can't fathom doing anything else productive. And that is the update. So we're 30 minutes ahead of schedule. So time blocking is still going well. I'm really tired, but luckily I've gotten a lot done and I'm going to get a lot done. So over and out. Okay, I am out of the Race and Slavery Working Group session and I finally got my mirror in the mail, so I'm gonna turn this around. All right, so I finally got a full-length mirror that's actually long enough. I wanted something that had a slightly different shape than every other square item in my apartment, and I love it. Originally I was gonna put it over here, but it just looked a little funny, and so I like it placed right there for now. Maybe I'll put it somewhere else, but that's where it's gonna be for now. And it's actually long enough that you can see the whole gigantic giraffe length of my body. So I'm very happy that it's finally here. And now it is time for lots and lots and lots of reading. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do a little bit of cleanup because my apartment's kind of worrying me right now. It's like too much. And I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to get to work. Good morning, everyone. Today is now Thursday. It is my busiest day of the week because I have 2 classes. So I have Slavery in the Atlantic World, which is starting in 2 minutes. So I'm gonna have to log on for that. And then I have my research seminar with my advisor later today. I just wanted to quickly let you guys know that I have posted 2 positions for hiring on Accepted Consulting's website. This is for a part-time content writer. This would ideally be somebody that studies English or something, that's in college or in graduate school, that is looking for some side income and is looking forward to potentially joining the Accepted Consulting team. And it would start out as very minimal work, but hopefully we would build up and have you produce more content. And then I'm also opening up an application for a summer intern. All these positions are obviously paid, but the application deadlines are all posted on the website. So if you're interested, go ahead to the website that I'm gonna have a link down below and check out the positions that are currently available. If you're interested, please go ahead and submit your application. All of the details are on the website, and you don't need a ton of experience. It's ideally for somebody that's in college and is looking for some side income and is looking to build up their resume. So that all being said, I'm gonna go ahead and head off to class. I went ahead and had my breakfast this morning, made myself a matcha to stay awake and alert, and I'm excited to get this day started. All right, so I'm out of my first class and it went really well. I think it's gonna be a really interesting one. It's focusing on slavery in the Atlantic world, primarily from the Latin American context. It's taught by Stuart Schwartz and Marcella Echeverry. It should be an interesting class. I I volunteered to do the presentation for next week. I don't know what compelled me to decide that that was going to be a good idea, but I guess it's just good to get it over with. So we have to do the readings, and we have to also pick an outside reading to do a comparative presentation. And I think I know what I'm gonna do. So the readings include this one article by Noah Lenski and this Tenenbaum book, Slave and Citizen, that essentially look at the origins of slavery from the ancient world. And I'm gonna go ahead and use David Bryan Davis's Inhuman Bondage. And then I think I'm also going to reference What is Slavery by Brenda Stevenson, because it takes a broader approach to the study of slavery, looking beyond the European Atlantic. So also looking at slave systems that existed in the ancient world beyond the Atlantic world, which I think would be interesting for the presentation. So I think I have an idea. And then we also talked about what the final paper might be like. And so it's supposed to be a 15-page like research paper, historiographical paper. And so what I think I'm actually gonna do is look at systems of concubinage in Virginia, Louisiana, and then I think like Brazil or Cuba. I'm not entirely sure, just because I don't really know the sources very well, but I think it would be very interesting to look at French Louisiana, English colonial Virginia, and one of the Spanish settlements in Latin America or the Caribbean. So that's my current idea, and I just love being back in class because I just feel so inspired to do all these different types of research. And it also shows me that I really need to get on my language learning. I'm going to be taking French and Spanish this summer. I'm at least going to take Spanish for sure, but part of me thinks I should also take French. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking and get to work. In the time between when I saw you last, I have edited a video, gone over some of my readings, and taken a very nice long nap. I kind of failed at time blocking today, but I think that's okay. I want to go ahead and wrap up this video. I know I have a class later today, and it's not technically a full week in my life, but I ended up needing to refilm something that was meant to go up today. So that video is going to go up on Sunday, and I wanted to get this video up. I think time blocking is a super effective and very helpful tool, but for me, it also causes me to be a little too strict with my schedule and feel like there's not enough leniency where I think I might need to make adjustments, say doing more reading or focusing a little bit more on another task. And so I think that time blocking works like ahead or maybe 2 days ahead of time, but I time blocked my whole week back on Sunday and there were things that needed to be adjusted. And I think that's just something to keep in mind when time blocking, is that there are going to have to be days that you can't plan too far ahead of time. And so I use time blocking in my day-to-day life. I definitely use it when I study and it's super effective, but I think that planning too far ahead of time makes it so that way the system doesn't quite work. With that all being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And let me know if you have any other recommendations for things that you would like to see me try for a full week. And I would love to make it part of my weekly vlogs, make them have a little bit more of a theme. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.